What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tea and Trauma. This is episode 4, and we are going to be talking about closure. Today, we are sipping on coffee because I'm recording this episode late and life is crazy. The baby's actually laying right here napping, and I combed out my locks. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Um, I was thinking about a conversation that me and my therapist had early in my pregnancy with Kai. And she was like, it seems like you've given this man so many more chances than you gave your parents. And I was actually offended. I was like, that is not true at all. She's like, you don't think so? I was like, absolutely not. She's like, well, you don't talk to them. You don't try with them anymore. I was like, because I tried for 20 years with them. It's over. I've given up. I'll never get the closure I desire. And that was the first moment that I really realized that sometimes you have to accept that you're not going to get closure. And it's a very hard pill to swallow because we all want closure. We all want to shut the door and close the chapter before we start a new one, because otherwise it's open ended. It's all these feelings and emotions about what if and why did, and all of these questions just remain unanswered. And it took me many, many years. I'm now 33 years old to discover that sometimes you won't get closure. And this is me just being biased as fuck right now, but I believe that sometimes you can't get closure because people are fucking liars. They're not going to be honest with you when you ask those questions and you say, why did you cheat on me? Why did you abandon me? Why did you not want to build the correct relationship with me? Why did you treat my children this way? Why did you? And they're not going to be honest with you about those questions. They're not going to tell you the truth that I'm a selfish ass motherfucker, or I never loved you for real. It was only about sex. They're not going to tell you the truth. And if someone can't tell you the truth, then you can't actually get closure, because closure requires honesty. So if you're trying to get closure out of a person that you know is generally not honest with you, y'all, y'all hearing? Oh, okay, cool. So I remember when I first had to accept that I wasn't going to get correct closure of my parents. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I ever desired to end my relationship with them, because like I said, I will talk to them if they talk to me. I actually just recently sent my dad a picture of my baby's gap because he got this big old fat gap. And you know where he got it from? My damn daddy and them. So I just ask myself, what do you want from them? And I was like, I want them to apologize. I want them to tell me why they weren't there. I want them to tell me why, even when they had walked away from the streets at this capacity, that they still never desired to have a relationship with me. That would require them to be honest. That would require them to say, I didn't have time for you and I didn't feel like making no time for you. Or you weren't a priority to me. Or, I had your siblings, so I didn't give a fuck if I had you too. Or I was too busy chasing this woman to give a fuck about you. Like, they're not going to say those things. They're not going to be honest about where they dropped the ball. They're not going to be honest about the parts of that may have hurt them and they just don't want to deal with it face on. Like, for all I know, they do feel bad about abandoning me. For all I know, they do feel bad about not having a relationship with me. But they won't ever accept that. They won't ever say that to me. And because I can't hear those words, I'm walking away from it. And I remember at the end of the relationship with the boy's dad, I was like, you know, I need some apologies. I need some, like, no, we're not going to move forward. We're not going to co-parent. I don't want to talk to you about my next doctor appointment until you be honest. I need you to be honest. And he's like, okay, about what? And like, I'm like, for starters, that you cheated on me. He's like, I didn't cheat on you. I didn't. I'm like, if we break up on the first, I'm sorry, on the third, and you were talking to someone else on the fifth, you were fucking cheating on me. Y'all had already had something going on already. Oh, well, I had already got her number. Bingo. Why are you getting someone's number if you're in a relationship? Because you already on your way out, or you were going to cheat while you were still in. Period, point blank. Okay, yeah. I'm like, would you have been cool with me getting a man's number that I was attracted to while we were in a relationship? No? Okay, that would have been cheating, right? Yeah, okay. I need an apology. I need an apology for you saying fuck my baby. I need an apology for all these things that you did to me that I did not deserve. I didn't deserve none of that shit. We've both been able to analyze and accept the fact that I did not deserve any of that. You're a horrible person, and I should have walked away so long ago. And there has been so much that I've had to accept where I dropped the ball because God gave me a million red flags, especially the months leading up to me getting pregnant with Kai. Like them 6 months before I got pregnant with him, something huge and traumatic happened every single fucking month. January, February, March, April, and May. June was the only month that we ain't had no issue, and June is when I got pregnant. And I hate that for me. I hate that for me. I hate that I was so stuck on, we gotta make our family work. We can make our family work. Ain't no family, bitch. We had a baby together. And this is something I've been talking to people about lately, and they're like, damn, I didn't even think about it like that. We have been creating this concept of like family is because you're blood related to someone. Like, that's my sister, that's my boy, that's my child, that's my whoever. And you feel as though because your DNA is shared with someone that y'all have to have a close connection. But in reality, it takes 5 seconds to bust a nut and make a baby. You don't have to love that person you made a baby with. You don't have to know that person you made a baby with. You don't have to give a flying hootenanny about them. But now you feel as though you have to have a relationship with them and they have to have a relationship with this child because there's some DNA connected. When in reality, 5 seconds mean I gotta deal with you forever. 5 seconds mean I gotta like you. 5 seconds mean I gotta love you. 5 seconds mean I gotta ride and go to bat for you when you ain't shit. Bless you. Be so serious. Be so serious. We really gotta start being honest with ourselves. And when I think about my siblings who I don't have a healthy relationship with or a relationship at all with, I'm like, well, they're only my sibling because my mom or dad had sex and made them. That means nothing. And family is about bond. Family is about loyalty. Family is about love. And there are chosen family members that I have in my life. I'm so thankful for the village that I have. So thankful for the friends that I have. That are those relationships are so much stronger than some of the relationships I have with actual biological family members. And I've had to accept that. I've had to accept I'm not going to get the apologies for not being a good mom, not being a good sister, not being a good dad. I've had to accept that that man wasn't good to me. And he's never going to fully admit all the ways that he was bad to me. But now, moving forward in my life, I can move at any capacity, in any relationship, in any friendship, and understand I'm not going to get closure. I didn't get closure with my ex-best friend. That girl wanted my life, and I tried to give it to her. I got her hired at my job. I got her a car when she didn't have no car. I shared everything with her. Everything. Anything that was mine was hers. And she still went out of her way to violate me. She still went out of her way to disrespect me about things that she shouldn't have. She tried to turn my son against his father. My oldest son, who locked in with his daddy and has been since day one. Don't you ever try to come between them. Ever. And that's when I was starting to realize she was taking shit too far. And our friendship didn't have appropriate closure. I just was like, yeah, you can't live with me no more. Like she was about to move in with me. All this shit was going on. Yeah, you can't live here. You can't move here. And we had one connection after that where we met at her friend's house and had this talk. And it was just a lot of like talking in a circle, but not talking about the issues. And I don't like when people do that. It's just like you catch a man cheating and you be like, did you go to Waffle House and fuck that bitch? And they'd be like, we didn't even go to Waffle House. We went to IHOP. Yeah, that's what we talking about. Yeah, that's the important part of this conversation here. What y'all ate. And it was a lot of that. And while we were having that conversation, I'm like, yeah, she ain't gonna give me what I need. And that's okay. Once you accept that people lie, you will accept that you can't get closure sometimes. And the better off you will be. The better off all of us will be when we stop seeking closure from people who can't keep it real. Y'all, people don't even keep it real with themselves, and you want them to keep it real with you. People right now posting on Instagram and Facebook and wherever the fuck and pretending to be someone that they're not. They literally are uploading best dad ever as they take pictures of their children that they seen for the first time this year on fucking Thanksgiving. That's the man that's gonna be honest with you to give you the clothes you need. Oh, okay. I think that the sooner you accept that you won't get closure from people, the sooner you can move on with your life and get what you deserve. Because how long do you sit in the hallway because you're waiting for that door to close? When you don't have to wait for that door to close, you can walk your ass down the hallway and go walk into another door, or fuck, I don't care, jump out the window. But you gotta stop waiting for people to give you closure. Because is closure for you or is it for them? Because if it's for you, you got to give it to yourself. Because you can't expect people who've done you wrong to give you something good. You just can't. It's really, we don't be utilizing our critical thinking when we're emotional, and that's fine. I don't know if y'all follow Jasmine's Garden. If y'all don't, y'all should. She was having just this really deep conversation about how some spiritual terms are used and they're used incorrectly, like karma. And then she was saying, just because it's ancient doesn't mean it's accurate. I was like, damn. And that shit just like unlocked so much in my brain because I'm so stuck on certain concepts because that's all I've known or is what I've known for so long. Like, oh, I just need closure. I need closure to move. You need closure to move on, and he's with a new bitch. Okay. Okay, don't be silly now, all right? You need closure to move on, and you already met your husband, but you just won't give him the time and energy because you still stuck over here. Move your feet. Move your motherfucking feet. You ain't no tree. Okay? Give yourself closure. When you know that something is done, you give yourself closure. I want you to go write down the journal. I am done with this situation. I'm walking away from this situation. I am closing this chapter in my life. Boom. That's all the closure you need. And stop asking them for it. Don't follow up. Because I recently did that. I had reached out to their dad and I said, I've been biting my tongue about this, but I really want to know, why do you not call your babies, bro? Oh, yeah, I don't like that. That you let you know everything I need to know. I let him know right then. I will not be reaching out to your phone anymore. And I mean that shit. I have closure. Thank God. God is so good to me and my children that they have a role model. They have a great man to look up to. They're fine. They know that they're loved. And they don't have to be getting that love and attention from their biological father if he doesn't want to give it. How many times do we see on the news people are killing their own children, people's boyfriends, girlfriends hurting their babies? I don't know. Fuck that. If I gotta force it, I don't want it. Because that's how kids get hurt. How many moms be at their wits end and ain't got no help, and they go drop them babies off, and even if he don't physically hurt them kids, he emotionally hurt them kids. We've seen it. We see these videos all the time. I've just seen a video, and a man is literally, the little boy recording it. He's like, I don't even know why y'all mama dropped y'all off over here. I don't want to deal with y'all. I've had y'all for 2 days. My soul would just dismantle itself if I knew that I sent my children somewhere where they were emotionally abused. I would never forgive myself for that. That's why I don't force my babies to go nowhere. If they don't want to go, or if the person they trying to go with don't seem happy to have them, they're not coming. They're not coming. And I'm not doing no mother. And I'm telling y'all moms right now, stop letting these niggas play in your face about your kids. Stop letting them be holiday parents. Stop letting them. You don't have to. And I know your kids may not understand, but I promise you they're going to grow up and be so happy you protected them from that bullshit. Don't fucking call my kid trying to get them on Thanksgiving and Christmas and you ain't fucking checked in on them on Monday and Wednesday and that day that they were sick and that day they had their doctor appointment and that day they got fucking straight A's at school. Don't fucking call my kids on these fake ass. I'm gonna keep that words myself. These artificial ass, bullshit ass, capitalistic ass, artificial ass holidays. I don't give a fuck about that. If you don't care about my baby every day, don't call them on them days. We cool. So you could take pictures and post them and FaceTime everybody. Yeah, I'm with my son. Man, fuck you. Fuck you and that horse you rode in here on. Period. Yeah. So do yourself a favor. Don't wait until December 31st to remove those people who ain't supposed to be in your life no more. Give yourself some closure today, on this good day. I want you to be like, you know what? I'm accepting that that friendship is not for me no more. I'm accepting that I'm not going back to that relationship. I'm accepting that I am done trying to force myself to go to school for something I want to go to school. Close that shit. Time is man-made anyways. At any point in time, you could decide that the shit is over. You don't have to continue some shit on just because you started it. Who gives a fuck? People like, you gotta finish it on out. Why? If it's making me miserable, why? Why am I gonna marry the motherfucker that don't treat me right? Why? Why am I gonna finish school to be a doctor and I wanna be a doctor? The fuck? Make it make sense. And I am getting real conscious and clear about doing what makes sense long term, not just in this moment. My prefrontal cortex is on, locked in, reloaded, processing information, and it don't just think about right now. It thinks about 6 days from now and 6 years from now and 16 years from now as well. And I'm not going to do anything that's going to negatively impact my future when I know right now I can be in control and say no. What I tell y'all last episode, no means no, and that's a full sentence. Okay? So the lesson, because we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. The lesson, give yourself closure because you deserve it. And the longer that you allow someone to not give you closure is the longer you allow them to be in your life. And guess what? More oftentimes than not, they want to linger there and have that position because they have control and they have access. About giving people access and control to you that you know don't deserve it. Nobody actually deserves to control you at any capacity. If you don't realize that people are emotionally controlling you by having access to you, by not allowing you to close that door, here's your opportunity to discover that. So the holidays are quickly approaching. So to those of you who celebrate Christmas, enjoy your family. To those of you who don't, enjoy yourself. I hope y'all ain't got a word. The fuck? I hope y'all ain't got to beat down nobody's clock. That's all I know. Unless you're a police officer, fireman, doctor, y'all got to go. I'm sorry. Y'all know what y'all signing up for. But yeah, I want y'all to don't wait. Don't wait till next week. Close that shit today. You are in charge. You are in control. Remove those things that don't need to be carried on. Stop waiting to on New Year's. No, any moment could be New Year's. This time is fake. It's fake. We made it up. So decide today is New Year's and that you're going to close all the chapters that you don't need to carry on. Do yourself that favor. You deserve that. You deserve to not continue to carry the burden and carry the weight of toxic relationships and harmful people and people who don't mean you no good. You don't have to keep carrying that. You don't have to wait till they tell you that they're done with you. You know when someone's no longer any good for you. What, you gonna wait until he cheat on you and have a baby? No, go ahead and leave him now. When you cheat the first time, it's especially you ain't got no kids yet. Girl, you better get your ass on out of there, skedaddle. Save yourself. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Save yourself. Close it yourself. Want y'all to have a good day. And as Miss Tab would say, if you can't have a good day, don't you dare mess up nobody else's. All right, all right.